Well, Comic-Con just happened. Do you want to
Yes,
let's
I would love to
cover
take the
that.
lead on this, if I may.
All
I've
right.
got a lot to say about this. Okay, so Comic Con these days is less about actual comic books. Although, to be fair, since like comic book movies are pretty much the big earners at the box office these days. Like, as I always like to say, like nerds, we won. You know, we won the battle against the freaking haters. Our shit is the most popular shit in the world now. So fuck you guys for ever making fun of us, man. Ha ha, we told you. You know, we're laughing all the way to the bank now. So um, it's definitely cool that there is still that presence at Comic Con, but it's become more of everything media, I guess you could say. You know, now they do like stuff for video games, like they do stuff for movies that have nothing to do with comic books. And don't get me wrong, I think that's great. I think that Comic Con has become bigger than what it actually was, and so many good things this year. The Star Wars thing, of course, was awesome. It was really cool to get to see the behind the scenes reel with everybody just hanging out and talking. And you didn't get to see too much from the original cast, but that didn't really surprise me. I know that they're saving that for the movie, and they were just bringing in the young kids and shit. And guys like you and me, it's like, dude, we want to see like Han Solo and Luke and Princess Leia and shit, like just talk. Like I want to see a shot of them like just sitting there having a tuna sandwich and Gatorade, on the side. It's like, dude, this is awesome. Like something that you and I probably never would have guessed would have ever happened again in our lifetime is coming back into the fold. Not just a new Star Wars movie, but a new Star Wars movie with the people that we would define as the stars of Star Wars. Well, that's a lot of stars. Um, I just think that that's amazing. But the one subject that I want to touch on the most, and I'm sure you're equally excited about this, the Ash versus the Evil Dead panel that they
Yeah.
did, where stars, for any of you guys not in the know, this was announced months ago, and I almost jumped out of my fucking chair with excitement because I've been waiting for something like this since I was 14 years old. Stars has basically greenlit a series with the assistance, production, and oversight of Robert Taper, Bruce Campbell, and Sam Raimi, the three guys, the three godfathers of the Evil Dead series. The first Evil Dead movie that I ever saw was Army of Darkness, like a lot of people. I missed the first two. And I remember seeing commercials for it and stuff like that. And I originally watched it with some friends of mine who were kind of cine geeks. And they were just like, this is like the third movie in a series, right? I was like, well, what's the other two called? They're like Evil Dead. I was like, well, what's Evil Dead? And we actually went to a brick and mortar store, Blockbuster probably, and rented the movies and actually watched them. And like my mind was blown that a horror and a comedy could exist in the same cinematic space. And I just fell so in love with the franchise, like I'm sure a lot of people did with the character of Ash and everything. And it's gone on to influence so many things. I mean, Doom, Duke Nukem, like all these things in pop culture. Like this is what started all of that. And when I got to see the actual trailer of Bruce Campbell like strapping on the chainsaw, putting on the glove and stuff like that, and grabbing the double barrel, it's like I was 14 years old all over again. Like that, it had not lost any of its appeal to me at all. I was so beyond excited, and I like that they're not trying to take away the fact that he's 30 years older. Than he was in the first Evil Dead movie, effectively, and that he's an older Ash. Like he's still got it, but I mean he's a guy in his 50s, and with him doing the thing where you think he's strapping on the hand, he's actually strapping on a girdle. Basically like yeah, still got it. Like it's it's still Ash, like it's still him, which is really just an extension of Bruce Campbell. Like it's him with the volume turned all the way up. And they show the blood and everything like that, which is just so ridiculously over the top, which is exactly what you want in something Evil Dead. You want it to be so bloody and ridiculous that it's actually funny. And my only complaint with this, to be really honest, is that the episodes are only 30 minutes. It's like, oh, it's like right when I'm getting into it, damn it, like now I gotta wait till the next week. That I find infuriating. But dude, we're getting a new Evil Dead. It's not somebody else's version of the Evil Dead. Like Sam Raimi's written and directed the pilot and everything. He's signing off on this. He's overseeing the series. Bruce Campbell, Rob Tapert involved in like everything that you want to be involved in Evil Dead. I would honestly say that this is better than getting an Evil Dead 4 movie because
Oh
this
yeah.
can keep going. with the advent of, we'll say, The Walking Dead, which really, at least in the most recent generation, pushed cable channel shows forward as far as what people can actually do. And on Stars, they can literally do whatever they want. Since it's paid cable, it can be as bloody, violent, and as much fucks and shits, as they see necessary.
Right.
So I could not, as a fan of this series, man, I could not be happier that it's like everything from our childhood that was cool is still cool.
Yeah,
and it's all being resurfaced.
I love how they kind of stuck to the original formula with Army of Darkness. I mean, it looks like it's that same humor, dark humor, campiness, and it definitely looks good. I watched the trailer earlier this week, and I was laughing all the way through it. I mean, it looks hilarious, but yeah, I'm excited for that too.